Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Tomorrow we are going spearfishing and we're headed back to this place where I know where there's lobsters. Shout out to my mate Danny who showed me the spot. It's amazing. You guys will see where it is tomorrow. Got my gear all packed. I just want to show you some of the gear that I did purchase recently, and this is the Daiwa Pro bag. It's got the measurements on the side so I can measure the fish that I catch, or just to make sure they're legal. It's got 2 gun straps on the bottom. It's got 2 inner bags where you can blow air into, here and on the other side, and it's also a 30-litre dry bag, so you can carry your car keys in there just in case you don't want to leave it hidden somewhere around the car. Diving with the Viper Pro Mores, so the 1 meter gun, dual 16 rubbers I believe, and got my hand spear. My mate just gave me that on our last dive because it's very essential when you're diving around the rocks, because I don't want to be carrying my 1 meter gun around. It's so hard, it's so difficult to just maneuver around those rocks. The other item I want to show you guys is this sea buck bag I bought from New Zealand. I had it shipped. It's a bag specifically designed for spearfishing, and I've noticed carrying my fins around right before I dive is the annoyingest thing ever, especially when you're carrying a long fin around. So it's got foot pockets in the front. It's a 60-litre dry bag. It's quite massive, so you can fit all your gear in, and it's held on the top so your fins won't fall anywhere. On the side there are 2 gun holders and one on this side. Massive bag straps on the back, so it's quite comfortable. So that's all my gear for tomorrow. I'm all keen. Headed out 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, get in there nice and early before all the fish are spooked. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Good morning guys, it's 5:40 in the morning and it's absolutely freezing, like really cold. Struggled to get out this morning. Found out late last night that there is a whale carcass right next to where we're diving, and there has been a lot of shark sightings in the area, like 5-meter sharks I'm talking about. It's massive, and I don't know how keen I am on diving the spot. I've only dived the spot once, but I love the spot. We just got to see how keen the others are diving. Running a little late at the moment. It's supposed to take like 20 minutes to get there and I got 15 minutes left. So I arrived at Gavin and Jess's place and we just packed our gear and we were straight off to the location. Grabbed a quick bite before we dived. Didn't want to dive on an empty stomach because that's very important, but not too much where you feel like throwing up. When we got to the location, it was absolutely amazing. Conditions looked prime. Quickly geared up and hopped in the water. As you can see through this footage, the water was really good. I'd say about 10 meters viz maybe. Started off looking under ledges and caves, started looking for abalone and lobster, just to see if there's any in the area. Looked under every ledges just to try to find something, and eventually I did find my first abalone. Quickly called everyone over just to check it out. It was their first time seeing an abalone in the wild, so it was great to see them get excited for it. The abalone is just under this cave here, so just use the torch and look under it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Just sort of show you guys. And it did look quite big underwater, so
There's a huge abalone, but it's far back.
I went to reach for it and pulled it out. However, things may look big underwater, but when you take it out of the water, it is quite small. So as you see, when I took it out, and in comparison to my hand, it was quite small, and I instantly knew it wasn't going to be legal. But I gave it a shot and measured it just in case. After we were done checking it out, I placed it under a rock where it's protected, nice and safe, and let it grow a little bit bigger. My search for a bigger abalone and a lobster continues straight after I place that abalone back. Shortly after, I found another abalone, and it looked way bigger than the one I found earlier. But this time it was further in a big cave, much more difficult to reach. Did a quick couple dives just to check it out, just to see if there's anything that could harm me. No moray eels hiding in there. After checking it out, I squeezed myself through. It wasn't the brightest idea to squeeze my whole body through. It could easily go wrong here. I could get stuck and run out of breath, but luckily managed to get the abalone out and pulled myself to safety. When I grabbed the hold of this thing, it was absolutely massive. It was easily by far the biggest abalone I've ever got. Despite being confident about its size, it's always a good idea to try and measure it just in case. And it proved to be illegal, but only just a bit. At this moment, a big wave came and pushed me, and I was holding my hand spear not the proper way, and it did manage to jab into my left hand. Took the glove off, gave it a look, and continued diving. I figured it's a problem for later. I was diving around and I saw an antenna poking at me. Dived down again and thought I lost it. In this picture here, you can see that there's a red circle and the antennas were just poking out at me. My first attempt at this lobster, I completely missed. Dived down a couple more times just to check it out, see if it's still hanging around. And luckily for me, I managed to get it cornered in an area where it was right next to me. And this actually took me longer than I thought. It made me hold my breath for much longer than I usually would. But I was quite determined to get this lobster, as it was my first lobster. And eventually I did pull it out. It wasn't a monster, but it'll do. I measured it, checked it out, and it was proven just legal. Here you can see that the antennas were ripped off. That was a big rookie mistake. They are very fragile and weak, so make sure you don't grab the lobster like I did. And at this point I was completely stoked. An abalone and a lobster. We finished up at the spot in about 30 or 40 minutes of diving, and we headed to Woolies just to grab some ice for the lobster and abalone, grab some snacks and meat.
Turbans. Bit of a mixed bag. The boys. Yeah. The boys. Yeah, that was good as. Midget grab bag. Midget alcohol. That's actually so funny.
As we were moving to our second location, I checked out my hand and yep, there was a couple holes in my hand. The second location was a little bit windier, but it didn't really affect our dive. In fact, it was a great dive. So we just finished our second dive and I didn't get it on film. Left the GoPro in the car. Didn't expect to see so many life out here. It was really good. Current started picking up a bit, so we headed it back in. Well, got about a total of 7. As you can see, the wind did start picking up. The current did start picking up, so we only dived about 30 or 40 minutes again, and then we just relaxed on the beach for the rest of the dive. I managed to shoot a couple luteric and red moong. My mates all shot a fish each as well, but yeah, I was quite bummed out that I didn't record this dive.
A lot of fish. By far the best dive session I've had. That's insane. That's so many fish. Bro, that's huge. Yeah. I was sitting at the bottom for that, and the whole school was just swimming around me.
Yeah.
And I was actually just waiting. And then that was at the end of the pack.
Oh.
And I was like, no way.
You got it.
No way, yeah.
So thankful that Gavin came in clutch with this barbecue. It was easily one of the best dives I had in a while. I wanted to point out that I am in no means a professional diver, so if there's any issues or anything I could learn, please leave a feedback in ways that I can improve my videos and also my dive. That's it for my video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like more of this stuff, please comment, like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.